Hey guys, another tournament video here. This one was actually from Roller Town down in Texas, actually. This was my first tournament of the year, and I had a really good time here. This is a really nice tournament. You're guaranteed 15 matches, which is really awesome. Gives you a lot of experience, and unlike a lot of other tournaments, which tend to be double elimination, maybe even single elimination, where you're very limited on how many matches you might get, especially if you get a couple losses in a row. Roller Town gives you lots of experience, lots of matches, and I highly recommend it for people who are new to sumo and want to do a tournament and want to get more experience. I got a lot of experience, had a lot of fun here, a lot of great guys. Great time, highly recommend. So let's get in here with my first match. Also, should mention how this tournament works is everyone who signed up is divided into two teams, East versus West, and it's open weight co-ed. So it's just East versus West, basically, two teams. So you'll see small guys versus big guys, all that. Women versus men. Great time. We'll get into it here. My first opponent came in good here. Got my grip I wanted right away. Was just taking my time, being a little slow. I didn't want to push too much and give my smaller opponent a chance to maybe counter, go for a throw. Took my time and just set up for my maneuver there, the frontal lift out. But if we back up here a little bit, as we come in here, you can see I come in with my classic right hand on the inside, immediately try to catch up on that belt there, left hand on the outside. Once I secure that, I just get a nice good stable position with the hips, keep some pressure on my opponent, but at the same time, not too much that he might be able to counter me or try to throw me. I was just taking things nice and slow. And then I was able just to step in here, close the distance. Nice frontal lift out. And if you look here, something that's important with the frontal lift out is it's not in the arms. The arms are just holding your opponent, keeping them close. Like, your arms aren't moving. They just kind of help lock the person there. It's the hips and the spinal erectors that do the lifting. It's much like the very final lockout of a deadlift. It's all in that sort of hip extension, that hip thrust into the spinal erectors. You see, I come in, get low, and then hip thrust out, lock out, carry him to the edge, and then get him with the final push there to get him out. The arms just kind of help hold the person there and keep them close to you. They're not what actually lifts them up. Now, my opponent here was actually quite a tall guy. I think he was maybe about 6'8". He's quite tall. Very rare I have an opponent who's taller than me. So this was quite the matchup for me. He was new to sumo, so he made a bit of an amateur mistake. He stood up quite tall, and he tried to kind of go for some thrusting there initially, but I was able to kind of squash his arms down and kind of close that gap. And then I was able to kind of like lock in my grip there, get a nice grip belt. I like a solid belt grip, but as we see here in the scramble, I was able to kind of get my head down because he was standing a bit taller than me, right down onto the chest there. And once I got there, I was able to kind of like get a nice solid base and then start driving and pushing through. And then from there, I was able to kind of keep the pressure on him. He goes for a little bit of a sidestep there, but I have a nice grip on him, and I was able to kind of keep him forced out there before I went out. That's why it's also important to kind of keep your head kind of on their chest. As you see, I kind of slid up there to the shoulder, which kind of gave him that opportunity to sidestep. But I was able to keep the pressure on him. One thing to note too is when you're in these kind of moments and you're pushing, you want to be careful you're not leading too much with your head and leaving your feet behind. You can be caught with with counters like slap downs or against side steps because you got all your weight forward and you're pushing. So something to note, you kind of want to try to keep your legs underneath you so you're staying balanced and in control there the whole time. So, but overall, definitely a win I'm happy with. Again, definitely my style. Sumo, nice good belt grip, head in a good spot. Using those big old legs of mine to help just push through. My opponent afterwards said it was like I was like moving a wall, which is exactly what I want. Now, this one here, again, against a smaller opponent, I tend to hesitate a little bit with smaller guys, just because I know they could be quite wiry and they can move quickly and they can move in ways that larger guys don't. And they can sometimes take advantage of very small movements and amounts of pressure. So I tend to play a little safer, a little cautious. Here we come in. This time I come in a bit high. He comes in a bit lower. I do get my underhook though, which is good. That gives me some control here. Allows me still the option of the belt, which I'm able to come down. And I didn't quite secure it there. I kept that underhook. I do have the belt on the left side though here. And I'm trying to get low, keep my hips down, keep them back. And keep in a good position here. Put a little pressure on there. I was trying to see if I could kind of like close that gap into a frontal lift out again. My opponent shifts there. So I've gone the belt on the inside grip there now. My opponent shifts. And then just due to my sheer size and strength, I'm able to kind of catch his own momentum and just lift him a bit. And then swing him around. And then force him out. So that's something you sometimes want to be careful with these sort of like big swings like this, is because when you swing your opponent, you actually have to swing yourself. So sometimes you can put yourself in a position where your opponent can take the advantage of your own momentum and throw you. Again, this one was just simple, straightforward. Just came into him nice and solid. He had no resistance, just pushed through. Just simple Oshidashi Uriki. Again, I wish all my matches could go this well, this easy. Maybe if I get big enough. And then yeah, so we had co-ed, so I had a female competitor here. And yeah, just big Oshidashi here, get her to the edge, push her out. And again, I'm always cautious with smaller opponents. I'm always worried they're going to do some weird, tricky, like small person thing that like it's going to catch me off guard. Because I get so used to working with like bigger guys that like small people just feel so different to wrestle against. But I come in, get a solid grip, left on the outside there, and then I'm able to work my way onto the inside on the belt as well, and then big pickup. And again, you see it there. It's not on the arms. The arms just kind of help clamp the person down, keep them locked in. It's in that sort of hips, the extension of the hips, and the spinal erectors, especially when you're walking. It takes a lot of the strength in the hips and the spinal erectors to really kind of keep the person. Your arms and your upper back just help keep them locked in. And then get her to the edge, push out. You always want to be careful on that edge there. I always try to kind of get them to the edge and then push them out. That way, I'm nice and strong. I don't have to worry about fucking up on the edge there and stepping out before I've got my opponent out. You always want to be careful there, even with like a nice big frontal lift out like that. So yeah, always take your time at the edge, make sure you're nice and secure, and then finish them off on the edge. Alright, on to the next match here. Oh, this was board shorts guy. So if you notice, for a lot of sumo competitions, general rule for guys is you either go commando like I am, or you're allowed to wear like the compression, like Under Armour style shorts. But this guy was just wearing straight up board shorts with like pockets and everything. So we were kind of like always kind of joking about that at the club, about like how he got away with that. So, but yeah, so we go here. I didn't quite get the grip. He got on the inside there. I had that sort of outside deep grip there on the right. Trying to get low here. Stay low. Keep the hips back. Go for that kind of left out twist there. I don't quite catch it. And then I'm trying to force him on the edge there. And then here, boom, big throw. So what we see here is, again, I go for that left out. And if you see here, again, it's not in the arms. The arms pull him in, but it's the hips. It's the extension of the hips that lift him up. The reason I didn't get it was because I needed him a little more upright, a little bit more chest on chest. So when I closed that hip gap there with my hips and kind of extended them, I could have lifted him up. His belt also came up a bit there too, which can affect like how well you can lift there too. But that's just a part of the game. So yeah, we get him on the edge here. I'm trying to get him there, while also trying to stay cautious, because you always want to be careful on the edge, because this is when things can change at a moment's notice. I'm trying to get him out. Got the hand on the back there. He manages to push me back a little bit. I shift back to the belt here, and this is the key moment. He shifts around and under me. So you see how he shifts around here? And then all I did was step through and then loaded him onto the hips and then with the arms. So basically, I did a very basic hip throw from judo. And truthfully, it was him who threw himself here. Because as soon as he stepped around, I was in position there to throw and to get it. And one other thing to note here is, as you can see here, as he turns around, I actually slip my arm off of the belt here and onto his arm, like you would for a judo throw, and then just step through, just get him loaded just enough on the hip to get him up and moving, and then the arms finish it off, and then I land on top of him. But yeah, that's why you want to be very careful when you have a larger opponent and they have that sort of deep over grip. It's the same thing in judo. You want to be very careful, especially when they're taller, because if you kind of step that wrong way, you're just going to let them come right in for that throw and catch you. I got to admit, that's probably one of the better throws I've ever done. It's funny, I have this like background in judo and wrestling, but like all my best throws have always come out of sumo. I've like thrown like more consistently and better in sumo than I ever did through judo or wrestling. So, but yeah, the moment they come up. But yeah, against the edge here, get that belt, he turns, nice hip throw. Basic and simple. I was actually worried there about who hit first, because when you go for the throws, you kind of get lost in it. and you don't always know like who's hidden first kind of thing. Like judo, that would be an automatic win for me there. Like that's a clear pawn right there. But yeah, in sumo, it's whoever touches first. So sometimes these throws, it can be a little tricky to tell, especially like when you're the one going to kind of ass over tea kettle. It can be a little hard to tell, but I got her. Another big guy here. This was a good one. Definitely exactly what I wanted to do. Again, he makes the mistake. He comes up pretty tall. Comes in hard though. And I'm just able just to slip my head right down. We come in chest to chest. Nice big guy sumo. I get my grips right away. And then I lock up. And then boom. As soon as I get my head down there on kind of his solar plexus, I just start driving. And then he shifts there. But I keep on top of him. I keep driving. And then it's out of the ring. This is what I kind of meant earlier too when I say you want to be careful you don't like lead with your head too much, especially if you're pushing hard forward. As you can see, especially towards the end here, I start almost falling forward and he tries for that slap down and I just got him out first before I hit the ground. So if he was able to maybe position or maneuver a bit better, he could have maybe caught me on that slap down or got me to fall first before he went out. I think what also helped me is if you look throughout as this match goes, he loses his grip. He doesn't have a good grip, but I keep my grip. I keep both my hands strong on his belt and keep my head in position. I think that's really what helped keep me in control and helped keep me secure and helped me from getting countered. But yeah, this is definitely the style of sumo I want to try to hit all the time. Just chest to chest, get the grip, get in position, powerful Yuriki. And then here it is, the hidden shift. Yeah, I don't know. I've done stuff like this before, hidden shifts in practice, but it always sucks when you get hit by it. Like, I'm never mad about it. It's always just because like whenever you lose to it, it always feels like you had the best charge, and you're like, oh, if only somebody was there to take it. But that being said, what my opponent did was really good. You see it here. They come in, nice hit, and then they immediately move that arm to the outside onto my belt as they're shifting through, just to guide me through. Because yeah, if we see that initial impact, it was strong. And if he had not moved as quickly as he did, I could have got the grip. He just knew exactly what he was going to do, and he did it right off the mark. If he had hesitated at all, it could have been a different story if I was able to secure more of a grip. But that's not how it went. So he catches me there, and you just see he just feeds me through. He uses all my momentum. Just that hit for that moment, shift through. Lets me push him a little bit so I commit, shift through. Very good, very technical. Like, I can't be mad at losing to like a good move. I can't be mad to that. I can be sour, but I can't be mad. I mean, I'd do the same thing if I could. And then this one here, very kind of similar kind of scenario here. Came in on my opponent here. Started pushing. He had this shallow grip here, as you can see. So I'm pushing there. I should have probably held more and kind of tried to secure up a better grip first. But I try to push, and you see he kind of circles and then just kind of gets me turned around, and then he's right in that position to push me out since we're right on the edge. Again, good technical work, good use. These are both really good examples of how smaller guys can take advantage of larger opponents, and how to like catch their momentum and how to sort of overcome them. But yeah, not much I can do. Now, this was my attempt at the sidestep. Didn't work out, but that's okay. It was funny. I came down, and as I was putting my hands down, I was like, my brain was just like, do a hanka. And I was like, okay. So I come down, and then boom, I try to go for it. I try to catch him right away. And there was just no giving him. Like, he was just solid. So I know next time I face him, I'm going to just have to do it head to head and just beat him. And I'm looking forward to that. I think I can do it. But yeah. Overall, though, I'm happy with that Hanka. Like, it felt good. Even though I didn't win, like, I felt like I had good contact. I came up, got good grip on the head. And you see, like, he did get a bit of a twist there, like, as he tried to circle. He just stayed on top of me. He just was very solid. So I wasn't able to catch him enough to, like, really throw him off there. But yeah, not much I can do about that. So, and then we're getting into the evening here. This was an all day thing. By the end of the day, we were pretty tired, pretty done. And so here I come in, catch my opponent, work my arm into there for that underhook on the right side there, onto the belt there. And then get my hand on the left there. And then we start to square up a little bit. I try to keep my hips back, try to get a little low. And it's this moment here, you'll see, he goes for that grip change. He tries to shift his grip right there. And as soon as I felt that, I drove. That's the moment you want to drive, as soon as you feel your opponent grip change. Especially like there, because then that freed up my arm to get into like a really good position just to drive through and keep on top of them. Because as soon as they give up that grip change, they leave themselves vulnerable. They're not able to kind of like counter as well. So that's a perfect time to drive, is as soon as you feel that. That's something I usually try to really feel and wait for, is for when my opponent goes for a grip change, and then to try to drive through them. And then, yeah. Towards the evening here, I was getting real tired. I was getting pretty dead on my feet, man. I'd been standing all day, and like, it was just a long day. So yeah, these like last couple of matches, I was like running on fumes here, just trying to get through this. So I come in. He kind of catches me on the inside there. He a bit shoulder checks me there a bit. So I end up with this sort of like overhook on the right side there. And then I catch his arm there. But I was able to take my left hand and kind of get into a position here on the body where I was able to kind of like push. I was able to keep him up with that sort of underhook and then push him up, keep the pressure on him, and out with my other hand. Keep control over him. But yeah. Nice and simple. And I do believe this is my last match. Yes. Opponent goes for the side step there. But I kind of caught him on like with the underhook there. And so I was able just to spin around and then keep the pressure on him. And then we both kind of went out there. right there out over the edge. So, but yeah, you can see here, he goes for it. He tries to catch me, but he didn't quite catch it like my other opponent did. He didn't quite have that sort of like, I want to say speed for it, or like I should say technical speed. Because yeah, when he comes in here, he kind of like, it felt like he lingered a bit too long. Like he thought of the idea, but he didn't have like the technical to kind of like follow through with it properly. So I was able to kind of catch him with that underhook, just spin around, stay squared, lock down the other arm, drive through, just be big, be heavy, push him out. And so yeah, that was my last match of the day. So yeah, all in all, I really enjoyed the tournament. Like I said, it was a good time. Having 15 matches was really nice. I like that they just kept it open weight, kept it co-ed, nice and simple. I think I finished this tournament with a 12-3 record, 12 wins to 3 losses. The 3 people I lost to were actually the 3 people who podiumed, so can't be too mad. I did also have 3 wins via forfeit because of some other opponents got injured. So if you disclude those wins via forfeit, I finished would have been 9-3. But yeah, overall, really great time, really good tournament, really enjoyed it, got lots of good experience. Was really happy with this performance, really happy with how it turned out. And yeah, I hope to do it again next year and keep getting experience. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys enjoyed getting to see more matches. And yeah, we'll talk to you guys in the future. Have a good one.